Welcome to Type C Tech Reviews. Today we're going to be unboxing the Samsung Odyssey G6. If at any point during the video you want to check out this exact same monitor, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. Let's get this thing unboxed. Kind of a soft launch on this G6, or the G65B, is that what it's called? G65? I'm not sure which way to open this, as there's no indicators. So we're just gonna try this side. Opening this up, do it the right way. And we did not. All right, let's flip this around. So there's a lot of cool things going on with the G6, but obviously the biggest thing that we're gonna be looking at just in the unboxing, as there will be a full review coming in a few days, is the ghosting, because this is a VA panel and Samsung, well, has a track record for it. Recently, they've been doing a pretty good job. All right, so in the box, pretty nice packaging. We've got a very large stand. This is the 32-inch variant. There is a 27-inch variant as well. Now this stand, I think this part, the outside is plastic, and then the bottom is, I think that's also plastic, but it could be metal, hard to say. And then we have not a thumb screw in the bottom right there. So you do have to screw that in with a screwdriver. And then it looks like the top part of the stand. Now Samsung usually even on their higher end monitors, they have pretty bad stands. Some of the worst in the industry for the amount of money that you pay. So getting this out, it looks very similar to the rest of their stuff. So in Samsung's classic way, they still don't have clip-in stands here, but it is height adjustable, and they do have that little cable management thingy right there, which you can pop in and out. All right, so that's the stand here. We're gonna need a screwdriver. This looks like that little plate. This is pretty much what they had on the Neo G8, I think, and everything else. This is just a little plastic ring for the back. I think that's gonna glow up. It's kind of just a two-piece design here. Very like cheapy feeling, but look, if you're buying a Samsung monitor, that's what you get. You get a cheaper style stand. And then in here, this looks like a VESA mount bracket, which I believe that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so this is a VESA mount bracket. Those are the mounting holes, and then it'll give you a 100mm by 100mm VESA mount. This is what you're gonna need if you wanna mount this on a monitor arm or something like that. Also in the box, manual, and then a bunch of cables here. All right, so in here, very cool packaging. We got a very large power brick. Actually not very heavy though, that's interesting. And then a nice 90-degree plug right there. Fairly long, as you can see, that's a lot of cable length. And then a bunch of cable length for your DisplayPort cable right there. More length than you would typically get, which is sweet. And here, is this a little remote? And it is, we got a little remote, which actually looks very nice. Yeah, this is a very high quality remote, which is sweet. This looks great. Interesting thing, very cool thing here is that we have like Game Bar or Game Hub or something like that. This can actually be an all-in-one monitor. If you want, you can play games on it without having a PC or anything like that, which is very cool. Also in the box, USB Type B to USB Type A, and then the other section of your power cable, nice 90-degree right there. That's high quality, I like it. All right, but that's not what we care about. Let's get this display out of the box. They make it easy for you, so you can just pull that back. There it is. Massive 32-inch screen size, 1000R curve, and we are going to need a screwdriver here. All right, guys, we're gonna get the stand together. Don't recommend using this. I'm just using it for just the video. First, we put those together, line them up, and they just kind of stick in right there. And then all we gotta do is just screw it in. All right, then to the back of the monitor, take these little pieces of tape off. They kind of already pre-put those screws in there, which is nice. Then all we gotta do is come over here. First, line this little nub up. You kind of stick that in the top right there. Then it lines up all nicely, and then just screw it right in. And then lastly, you're gonna take this thing, open her up just like that. It's pretty simple. And then you are going to line this up. I think it just goes in there like this. Snap it back together, and it kind of like, see that? It kind of like goes down, and then twist it, and it's kind of like locked in. So there we go, now it's in. Let's take this out of the box. Samsung monitors that have a 1000R curve always look insane. You're either gonna hate this or you're gonna love it, but look at that, it's awesome. Look at that beautiful curve. Even if you hate curves, you have to admit that when gaming on these things, it's very, very fun. All right, we got some plastic around the edges that we're gonna pull off, and we got a matte finish on the edges. Looks actually really good. More plastic on the front. We got a bunch of plastic here. And then a little bit of plastic on that Samsung logo. Overall, from the front, these are gonna light up right there, which is kind of cool. I mean, I kind of dig that. A very nice matte black, everything MKBHD style monitor. Looks great. Let's get this thing plugged in. Before we do that, let's go through the height and the ports. First, a lot of height adjustable. You can see it goes pretty close to that desk, and it goes pretty tall. Not a ton of tilt up here, but a lot of tilt down. As far as swivel, it does have swivel. That's impressive. Not a ton of swivel, but enough. You can always see Samsung monitors. I mean, look at that. Very wobbly. This is just a Samsung thing, okay? Their stands are not the highest quality. Yeah, we got full rotation. So you got a lot of those things. But you can see it's a little bit wobbly. If you've got a very wobbly desk, maybe not the best stand. Does it go both ways? And it does, very nice. All right, let's check out the ports. Also, one thing to note, this is not too heavy. You could pretty much mount this pretty easily. All right, so checking out the ports, we've got right here a display port, 2 HDMIs. That one is ARC, that one says ARC, so is that like eARC? I don't know, very cool. Then we've got our USB Type B, which then does 2 USB Type A's right here. Any on the bottom, doesn't look like it, okay? So it doesn't look like we have any other USBs. Then we have an Ethernet in. This is really interesting. This is more like a TV now. And then we have a 3.5mm audio out. The Ethernet in is because, again, you can use this as its own system. It has the whole like game bar or game hub or whatever they're calling it, but you can use this as an all-in-one, which is, well, super awesome. All right, but now we're gonna get this thing hooked up, see how it does, check the initial impressions, do an initial gaming test, and a ghosting test. Well, because that's very important, especially for a VA panel. All right, guys, all on the desk. It uses a similar menu system or the exact same menu system as the Neo G8, which we most recently reviewed a Samsung monitor, which is kind of like not a joystick, but it's a button in the middle, and then it's got like left, right, up, down. But again, we got this remote here, which is really nice. This is very nice. So we're actually gonna turn it on with that, see if it works. Looks like it's working right there. There we go, very, well, so far, very responsive for the on button. 240 hertz, 1000 R curve. It's got game bar. There we go. So this is kind of like the whole, it's got its own OS built in, which is just so cool. So we're gonna kind of go through this.
How would you like to get started? Choose one.
Very cool. So we're just gonna go for the remote control. Again, we don't have the Ethernet plugged in, so I don't think we'll be able to actually go through this setup process. It's got a Wi-Fi? This has got a Wi-Fi chip inside of it? Okay, that's actually really cool. Never mind. All right, we got our wireless connection set up. This is a little bit laggy, but I mean, for a monitor, not bad at all. Checking for updates. This is very similar to like a TV, which is so cool. I mean, it's cool to have it. You obviously don't have to use it. Seriously cool to have. All right, so we're not gonna install this right now. All right, guys, finally in the hub here, we're in. So now the things you can do from here are cloud gaming. I think we can do like maybe the Xbox Game Pass. I'm pretty sure we can do that. So you can see we have like Netflix and stuff here. This is just so cool, especially if you don't have a console, if you don't have stuff like that, but you still want to game. Obviously that's maybe a small portion of people, maybe it would grow. I don't know, but you have Netflix, you got YouTube, Hulu, whatever you want on here. And then over here, obviously you got your game stuff, which is, so you got your like Xbox stuff down here. I'm pretty sure you can just stream all of that stuff without actually having an Xbox. So this is all very cool. But again, we're gonna move to the PC because an $800 monitor, you're probably not just going to be using this. Let's hook it up to the PC. We're gonna go into the menu system, the OSD instead. So the OSD actually controls this as well. So how do we get out of this? All right, so now we're on the PC. So once you hook it up to the PC, then you have your typical OSD here. Can it be controlled? Can it be controlled with this? Okay, so home will bring you back and then you can just click on PC and that will open it back up. That is super interesting. So can I now use this? Okay, so those are like our settings. So can I use, yeah, I can use this now. So that's very interesting. That's so different, but now I guess we're kind of competing with LG now because the menu system is actually like, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty. So there we go. All right, let's go in here because obviously the picture settings not the best right now. Picture mode is on game. Okay, there's a whole lot of like weird stuff going on. We're gonna go into game mode. We're gonna turn game mode off so we can actually change the picture mode, which is super weird. Picture mode, graphic, entertain, which is way over cool. So there's only 2 picture modes? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so we're gonna go into expert settings. We're gonna turn the brightness all the way up. It's definitely nice and bright. Not the craziest brightness ever, but definitely not bad. Local dimming. Now here's an interesting thing. I didn't actually know that this had local dimming. I was hoping that it did, as it is a VA panel. We're gonna turn that to high and we're gonna kind of check that out. But then you have all your pretty much your basic stuff. Go over into sound. The sound is actually quite good here. Response time modes, we're gonna check those out with the ghosting. The core lighting, we're gonna turn that definitely on, and that's gonna show up on the back, but also over in the front right here. That looks super cool. Now, honestly, from a typical viewing distance like this, you don't really see it. You kind of have to be down here to see it, but it won't get annoying. So for some people who don't like that, it won't get annoying, which is cool. You also have different effects in here if you want like rainbow and stuff. It'll do that, but we're just gonna leave it in static. Then you have your connections and Apple AirPlay, which is cool. Your sound settings, a lot of different settings here. We have power saving stuff. You even have a screensaver. This is so weird. Definitely very strange, but I don't hate it. We'll see if I hate it after like a week of usage. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air here. One thing I don't like about the monitor is these bezels. Okay, so we've got like the typical screen bezels, but then they do like an angled approach, which when you're sitting right here with it being curved, it like adds a lot. So like really what you're seeing is like that much bezel. It's a little bit thick for my taste, but it'll fade away during gameplay. How does it look off the bat? It looks pretty good. Doesn't look like it's doing 240 hertz. So let's go in here. It's doing 120 hertz. This should be doing 240 hertz. All right, so we're gonna go down here into game and we're gonna turn it back on because we think that maybe that is how you get 240 hertz. We're gonna turn that on, see what it does. Okay, so in game mode, it actually makes this like a gaming monitor. I think that's basically what's happening. So if we click this, so now this gives us settings like that, I guess. And does it still, so it still gives us our expert settings, which is so funny. We're gonna turn the brightness all the way up and local dimming is still on high. Okay, all right, we're shooting this after we just finished the video. However, we just figured out the way to do the menu system is when you're in game mode, press and hold the play pause button, and then there's the actual menu system and it'll come up. So that's great. Then going over to the picture settings mode, we have standard, RPG. It's lowering the brightness because I had the brightness set higher for standard. RTS, doesn't really change it that much, honestly there. FPS, again, doesn't change it much. Sports, which definitely changes it. And then custom, but that one's probably, well, you can change the brightness there, the contrast, whatever like that. And then again, press and hold that. And there we go. We have ultra wide game view, kind of weird I guess if you want to cheat. Help guide, game settings. So we got variable refresh rate off. And so this will bring you into that. Surround sound system's quite good, but I'm rambling on. There was the menu system, how to get to it, back to the video. This is 95% of DCI-P3 color space. It's a VA panel. Not a ton for a VA panel. It's not a ton of like washing out when going to the side. So pretty good viewing angles, although obviously the best one's right here. And it looks awesome because of the awesome curve. Let's go into the NVIDIA control panel, see if this thing is outputting 240 hertz now. So we're at 1440p at 120 hertz, and there we go. So it has to be on game mode to get 240 hertz. See if this thing can output templates of color, and it can, very good. All right, now one thing I'm excited about is we're gonna go in here, and now we have local dimming on, although it doesn't look like it's doing much of anything at all. All right, so I'm not sure how many local dimming zones this has or not. We'll test that after we do some gaming. But let's jump in gaming, see how this thing games. Now I can tell you right away, the color temperature right here is just wrong out of the gate. This is supposed to be calibrated from the factory. I don't know if game mode does some weird stuff. However, well, we'll test that out for accuracy, but I don't think it's very accurate as far as color temperature. All right, now hopping in game. We're at full 1440p, 240 hertz. Remember, this is the 32-inch variant, so if you do want a higher PPI, you are gonna have to go with that 27-inch. However, pretty fast as far as input lag, which we would definitely expect here. 240 hertz is absolutely fantastic. The game overall is pretty. This is not in HDR, but this does have FreeSync Premium Pro, which means you get HDR with variable refresh rate on at the same time, which is awesome. Now, the colors look nice and vibrant. This wasn't a super contrasty map, so I'm not sure how that local dimming is doing. I have no idea how many zones it has. I have no idea. All right, guys, now hopping in another game, super fluid as you would expect from 240 hertz. Nice colors as well. The colors look pretty good. As far as the black levels, obviously deeper than a IPS panel or a non-local dimming IPS panel, but doesn't seem like crazy blacks. Definitely not like what you're gonna get on the Neo G8, but again, not even the same realm here. This is really just a typical VA panel that's got a 1000R curve, which if you're into that, this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's an awesome curve. As far as gaming performance, this is seriously cool, but that's most of Samsung's monitors. As far as just initial impressions, I mean, it's exactly what I expected. It's 240 hertz, so it's a low input lag. It's very fluid. It's fast, it's pretty bright, it's got very pretty colors. It's a VA panel, so you're getting better blacks. I mean, overall, it's a great gaming experience. As far as ghosting, it looks like it definitely has more ghosting, obviously, than an IPS panel. But for my initial impressions, there is definitely some ghosting going on, but it doesn't look like it's crazy bad, although it's probably definitely going to be noticeable substantially in the test, but not like your average VA panels. You can see here, probably you can't see this on camera, but yeah, there's definitely some smearing, but that's every VA panel. However, you're getting better black levels. So, you know, sometimes you gotta make that call whether you want better black levels or you want lower ghosting. Let's do the ghosting now. All right, guys, now in the testing, this is exactly what I expect after gaming on it. A little bit of ghosting, but for a VA panel, it's quite good. Not as little as an IPS panel, but it's actually pretty dang close, closer than you'd expect. We haven't gone through all the different settings, but right now, what I'm seeing right now is, yes, there is ghosting, yes, there's smearing, you're going to notice it, definitely more than an IPS panel, but very low, especially for Samsung, who just hasn't had the best track record with ghosting. This is very good. This is extremely good. Let's see if it'll get any lower by going into the settings, which I'm just clicking around. I have no idea how to get into these settings yet. Let's go into extreme here. Oh no, that's pretty good. A very small amount of pixel overshooting or inverse ghosting. So faster looks like it's the best one that you're gonna have. You just want typical ghosting. You don't want pixel overshooting. But that one is really good. I mean, it's a small amount of pixel overshooting. I'm gonna have to go in game because sometimes the pixel overshooting can do artifacting and all this weird stuff. So it looks like your best is going to be faster or extreme. But again, subscribe below. Full review coming in a few days. That's where I can actually fully tell you. And standard is a little bit more ghosting, but still overall not bad. I'm just gonna leave it in faster for now, but that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna actually give you I'm gonna take the camera, show you what I'm seeing. So you can see, yes, there is some ghosting, but honestly, every time I review a Samsung monitor, I'm a little bit fearful because, well, they have a problem with ghosting with VA panels. It looks like they're doing great things. This is really, really good. Now, the other thing that we're kind of gonna look for is another Samsung problem with their 240 hertz monitors. That's right, scan lines. I'm just gonna look up real close. Obviously a little bit hard because the PPI isn't crazy here. And right now I'm seeing a small amount, not like the Neo G8, but there is kind of noticeable. But again, remember, if we do switch into 120 hertz, it probably will not be there. But, so it looks like there might be a small amount of scan lines, although it's very hard to tell as this is a lower PPI. However, if it's that hard to tell, it's probably not an issue. Again, that will be in the full review. But so far, super duper impressed with the Neo G6, not Neo G6, just the G6. Especially if you do want to have that OS built in, that could be a con or that could be a pro for some of you. You have to learn how to navigate it a little bit more because it's definitely a little bit more confusing. However, well, overall, I'm really impressed, especially for the price point. It's not crazy expensive, although it is a higher end monitor. That being said, if you want to check it out again, Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. Review coming in a few days. I'm excited to review this one. All right, this is Type C Tech Reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next video.